What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the NarikChase channel. I'm your boy NarikChase, and in this video we'll be continuing our series review or episodic review of the Netflix Resident Evil series. We already did episode 1 and episode 2, so now we're going to go ahead and continue on episode 3, The Light. I got it in my notes, right? The Light, that's what it's called. Without further ado, let me go ahead and say this. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. And for all the support that you do give, and all the likes and all the views that you give, we greatly appreciate that. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. What the fuck did I just watch? Yeah, that didn't work out. Let me try that one more time. Obviously, the last time I did play that, I didn't let it go all the way through, so that was my bad. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. Picks up exactly what the last episode left off. A bunch of bullshit. It's fucking dumb. Starts off with the interview with Evelyn, who is the CEO apparently of Umbrella, and she's talking about this new drug that they have, Joy, that is going to utilize to help people with depression, work as an antidepressant, basically, and it's something that you would definitely see in some, I think, in like a Resident Evil type thing, but it's like. They did also, surprisingly enough, talk about Raccoon City. Now, I have a kind of a problem with that because I don't think that when in the games, with the first 3 games, of course, that when the zombie outbreak happened, I don't think the world viewed it as a zombie outbreak. I'm not sure, because like in the movies, when they destroyed Raccoon City, it was seen as like a hoax, that these zombies and stuff weren't real. And I would expect that Umbrella would try to cover it up that same way in the games. Now, it actually is canon, and it is verified that yes, Umbrella was responsible for zombies, which was an outbreak, and it was proven, and everybody in the world knows it. Then okay, I'm good with that. So outside of that. Another thing that also kind of got me, I'm not sure if y'all noticed this, but it was only like 2 fucking people in there. And I'm like, this is a interview with a highly successful company. You would think there'd be a bunch of, lights and different cameras, different camera angles and shit in there. Which is kind of weird because if you watch the scene, it looks like it's showing her from the camera angle, or maybe I got that wrong, from the camera angle that's angled at her and to the camera, showing everything. And I was like, wouldn't it have been a better move cinematic wise, if you would show her through the actual camera, so we can actually see it as an actual interview? But I'm a bit mixed up on that part. I could have sworn that they actually showed her like through the interview camera, but then it pans out to all this other stuff outside of that. So I think it would have been a lot better if they just kept with that. But hey, I don't know. So that was the past. Now let's go jump into the present / future. It picks up where Jade and all of these refugees, and this stupid fucking drone is just shooting people just randomly, but it's not shooting people. It's like it's shooting people for like 3 minutes, and you don't see people go down, and then all of a sudden you start seeing people get shot down and everything, and which it was stupid because it was this one sequence where Jade jumps behind this little small ass wall, and then some guy, like, I guess he got hit, or he jumped over and fell over it or whatever, and he drops a gun, and I was like, how fucking convenient. But okay, so she ends up getting a gun. The non-threatening white guy kind of turns over to one of the soldiers, and he's like, they're using rubber bullets, right? And the soldiers kind of like shrugs, and I'm thinking to myself, that was not an issue before, and you're leading these guys, so why would you ask that dumbass question? And and another fucking train. What is up with the trains? The trains don't never fucking go until I start shooting a video. Good God. This whole day there ain't been a damn train. But anyways, I just keep going until the train passes. So anyways, Jade saves this kid that's just sitting there in the middle of this fucking chaos, not trying to take cover, yelling help instead of looking for his parents. Just fucking stupid. And then she goes and hides in a truck container trailer, I guess. One of those big metal containers that be on the back of like the diesel truck. She goes and hides in one of those, which is weird because all of a sudden they go and hide in there, and then the drone is just fucking shooting this trailer up. And I'm like, why is it shooting the trailer up all of a sudden? It's not like it passed or shot through it. It lives like it. They're inside, and all you said, I'm like, why is it shooting the trailer? So I want to say another scene end up happening, but next you know, the parents end up coming into that same exact trailer for some reason, and I'm like, how did they know they were in there? And what a coincidence that they would jump in the same trailer as this kid and Jade. But I'm like, okay, fine. Jade makes it home. Billy's in the bathroom doing her snarling slash bloody mouth bit. Wesker comes home, finds that the mutant rat broke out. He goes to contain it. We don't see what the fuck happens after that. It just goes straight back to the future. Um, so now Jade is in the future in the trailer talking to this family, and they say they gotta escape together. And Jade kind of says this line that doesn't make any sense because the guy's like, "Well, how can we?" Well, before that, the the dude is like, they're like, well, we can't take the regular way out, and Jay thinks it's because they have this bag full of moonshine or old ass liquor. I don't know, but the way she looks at them is she's like giving this weird judgmental mood, which I'm not. I'm like, why do you give a fuck that they have contraband? Why is that important? She pointed it out like that made some fucking sense. I'm like, no, who gives a fuck they had contraband? And what they said made sense. Sell that shit and be set for life. Damn near. Why wouldn't they do it? But then she ends up saying, hey, we can work together, we can get out of this. And she says a line that's stupid. That's it's like thoughtful but stupid thoughtful. She says the only way to trust someone is when they need you. And I'm thinking to myself, no, because a lot of times there's been instances when you needed somebody, a person needed another person, and then either while needing them, stabbed them in the back, or after they got done needing them, stabbed them in the back. So I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? So I didn't get that. That line was like thoughtful, but it was kind of. It's like they tried to be very thought provoking with that line, but I'm like, no, that was pretty fucking dumb. And there's plenty of instances where I can be like, okay, not really, not fucking really. So that was a WTF. But then we jump back into the past, and I will say I was on board with kind of like the future past thing, but they're doing it too fucking much. It's like they have like a 3 minute segment, jump back to the past, another 3 minute segment, and it's like, okay, maybe if you split the show into four like quarterly things, and each, or not even that, have like, okay, so have 15 minutes dedicated to the past, then go for 15 minutes dedicated to the future. It makes it more going on, and it's not so just discombobulated because there's certain the editing is so bad where you it's like a scene that happened, you're like, okay, let's get into the scene, and then it just jumps back to the future and takes you right back out, and you're like, oh, come on. So anyways, in the past, Wesker has the mutant rat in the little cage thing, is got it pinned down, taking blood out of it, and I'm like, so fuck the fact we didn't get to see how he caught it, but oh, okay, fine. And I had broke down can break glass but not escape Wesker holding it, which is what happened. So Jade ends up reading more about the documents from the reporter, the secret documents about what happened and everything. Why in the fuck this dude is sending her this shit? How Umbrella is not screening all of this shit? I have no fucking idea. But okay, I mean, the moment they started, she got the email or even contacted the guy. They should have been at Wesker investigating, doing something, shutting her out of her shit, something. Crash internet, something. Block the shit. Again, something. But okay, fuck it. Umbrella don't care. Why should I? And look, I even wrote it. Why Umbrella hadn't picked up on this? Okay, but you can block the site that the motherfucker owns and double block and then double firewall it, but not screen what's going through the email and the internet and all that shit that these people control. Okay, fine. So we're gonna jump back to the future. Obviously, Jade and the family are in her jeep and they escaped somehow. We don't see how. We don't see them sneaking out. We don't see them avoiding detection. We just all of a sudden see these motherfuckers just driving like this is Gran Turismo. And then on top of that, which don't make no sense, it don't even seem like they drove that far. So I'm like, this is an Umbrella controlled area. Umbrella knows she's there. Umbrella attacked these refugees to get to her. You would think they would have the city on lockdown or this area on lockdown. And they're driving to go to this another. Okay, there's another way out of the city called the Channel. And I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck this gets brought up now? It's not like they had a conversation of, okay, these are 3 different ways you can get out the city. Pick one. That would have made more sense to, but they didn't. So it's like this whole channel. What is the fucking point? This seemed like something somebody just thought of last minute. So I'm like, okay, this channel is another way out of here. So why was, and if Umbrella knows this, why weren't they at the channel? I mean, every act says to get out of the city, they should have been there. But okay, for the sake of the writing, read the writing on the wall. But they end up escaping. So go back to the past. The family's eating. Whereas Wesker and Jade are eating, and then Billy comes down, and despite all of her looking sick, despite the fact she doesn't feel well, despite the fact that this dumb bitch knows that something's wrong, and I'm not talking about the actress, I'm talking about the character, they argue with Wesker about going to school, which doesn't fucking make sense because Billy knows something's wrong. Jade has been reading and researching this, so she knows something's wrong. Wesker developed the shit and has researched the shit, so he knows something wrong. So you got 3 characters that know that something's wrong, and 2 of them, and Wesker knows that the daughter is infected and could potentially turn into a zombie or whatever. Jade has been reading up on it and knows she's infected and suspects that she's going to turn into a zombie. And they're all arguing about this girl going to fucking school. So I'm like, wait. So you're risking, and our whole thing is, well, if we're not going to school, then that looks suspicious. I'm like, no, the fuck it doesn't. Wesker's got pull. If he don't want his kids in school, he cannot have them in school, and nobody's going to question that. And if Jade is in school, but Billy's not, ain't nobody gonna sit there and pull Jade to the side and question her on no shit like that. They ain't even been there that long. From what I can tell, this is like day 3 of after them moving there. So what the fuck are they talking about? People gonna be suspicious. Nobody cares. So I don't understand why they even know that. And that's literally, and then all of a sudden Wesker's like looking at her wound, which you can tell something. Actually, I already knew something was up because when we see a Wesker earlier taking her blood, you're like, obviously there's something special about these 2. And then this is further proven because when Wesker looks at her wound now, it's healing. Now, normally with the infected bites, they don't heal. They actually turn worse and people look like shit. Which is weird because how is her wound healing, but she looks like shit? Okay. You know, they go to school. There's a bunch of CW drama between the two sisters and everything. This random Simon guy that, you know, this stupid fucker shows up. The character, not the guy, the actor. He shows up in CW drama. Nobody gives a fuck. So let's go back to the present slash future. Jade and the family make it to the tunnel. The tunnel is like this small caravan vehicle, three vans that are kind of armor plated up and they're chain linked together, so they like a small caravan. All these other refugees get into there, and they go into the tunnel, and then it switches back to the fucking past. So I told you the editing is kind of wonky, kind of spotty a little bit. So I don't understand. Girl go to have this board meeting. It's fucking full of shit. It's stupid, and it's basically elitist uh, business owners and elitists sitting here plotting on how they can get over on pretty much everybody else and how to fuck up the world. Uh, Earlier, you know, Evelyn, there's some dumb shit where Evelyn's wife is calls her and she's like talking and they're cool apparently, and I'm like, why was that even added to this scene? Nobody gives a shit about the wife. We give a shit less about we give a shit about Evelyn. We give a shit less about her fucking home life. And I don't even like the wife because this dumb bitch comes to this place of business with drama. Somebody should have just popped ass drug on out. Get security. Get this crazy lady out of here. Stupid. So anyway, they talk about. I'm like, that's the only project y'all got. I'm like, y'all are a multi-million, possibly $1 billion. Well, at this point, you probably should be $1 billion industry, but maybe because of what happened with Raccoon City, you know, restarting. And so, I say, just to be generous, a multi-million-dollar company. I would say, no, I'm gonna say billion, just to be generous. A company, and Joy is the only product that y'all have. That's the only product that you have. You don't have anything else. You have pharmaceuticals, but you're not talking about any of the sales surrounding other pharmaceuticals that you have, the other drugs that you might potentially have. Yes, I understand that, you know, that y'all have had military contracts and stuff like that. So all of that got taken away. Y'all don't have any more contracts. Y'all don't deal with anything genetics or anything like that. No research. Like, what the fuck else is going on besides this stupid drug called Joy? Dumb. So nobody talks about anything else. Fucking talk who these people represent. There's no other like scientists reporting on what no, or analysts or anything like that reporting on what's actually going on. Because I would have liked to see. Okay, this is the Umbrella Corporation. Let's get into the minds of the people that run this shit. No, let's not do that. We're just gonna talk about fucking Joy. So all right, and and then the board members are just forgettable, except the one white chick. She was. I wish she just fell out of her chair because she was not an interesting character at all. So, all right, Wesker is telling these people that joy is actually it can be a good thing, but it also can be bad because if you take too many of them, because pills have formula have traces of T virus in it. As you know, T virus creates monsters, but a lot of times it turns people into zombies. And if you take too many of them, turn into a zombie basically, or turn into an infected, or whatever. And he's warning these people of this, and I'm like, and he's like, that's what happened in Tijuana. And I'm like, so these people are that fucking stupid that they're trying to get a buck that they will risk. If that risk is that type of a risk is there, why would you even invest in that? Because you can't trust people. Motherfuckers sit there and we got a bunch of people overdosing all the fucking time. What if a bunch of people overdose on this shit and then all over the country and turn into fucking zombies? All over the fucking world and turn into zombies and stuff. People that can't help their anxiety, overtaking more than they should, can potentially overtake too many of them and turn a fucking zombie across the world. The fact that they said that traces of T virus in it should have shut the conversation down. The fact that they said that too many of the people taking too much of it can fucking turn them into zombies should have shut the conversation down. And I get that, you know, has experimented with the T virus and everything, but that's not the only thing that they did. That's not the only shit that they had. So you're telling me they can't get away from the T virus at this point, or who the fuck would manufacture the T virus for mass consumption like that? Like that does not make any damn sense. There's no business in the world. Well, nowadays I can actually believe it, but what business would put that time of risk on the table? Do you know what the fuck happened to Raccoon City? Did you not pay attention? You had a stupid and umbrella shit tanked after that because of the disaster that it was. And you're going to open that gateway by allowing people to ingest light traces of T virus. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know the bad habits people have now? Not a good idea. But okay. And he's like, well, if you it can, and not only do people turn into zombies, but that the zombie virus can be transmitted. And I'm thinking to myself too, and they're like through bite. And I'm like, so can it be transmitted through kiss? Can it be transmitted through sex? Can it be transmitted through backwash? If I eat off the same spoon as you, can I like? You might want to give it a little bit more details outside of a bite. But okay. And like I said, if it's that easy to trigger it, why put it out there like that? Doesn't make any fucking sense. But then again, sometimes we eat shit that's got a little radiation in it. Some of the foods we eat have slight amounts of radiation, And I guess too many, we eat too much of that shit. But anyway, so Wesker pulls out the stupid rat zombie, and he's like, okay, this is what happens if you take too many of them. You look like shit, like this rat that I caught that broke out the glass, and I got a little glass container, and I'm like, it's not being overly aggressive now. It's actually got probably a better reason to break out the fucking glass at this point, because when it broke out the glass the first time, there was nobody to garner its attention, so there was no reason for it to break the glass. But now it's in a room with a bunch of people, it probably has a better reason to break out the glass to possibly try to infect those people. But okay, fine. So Evelyn pulls out a video. The video shows a dog. I guess the dog is infected. Doesn't look infected. And this little cage with a cat in it. The dog's barking at the cat. Next thing you know, she presses the button. This little sign in the back starts flickering light. The dog shuts the fuck up. The cat gets out the cage. The cat. So they're going towards people ingesting this drug, and then she's talking about going on the internet, shooting ads and stuff, and basically triggering people to do what they want them to do, which is something I can say Umbrella would probably do. I would say that. And I read, what was it, not Caliban Cove, was it Caliban Cove? Yeah, I think it was Caliban Cove. That book, which is actually a good book. In the book, a scientist develops a branch of the T virus, and those infected with that branch of the T virus, he was able to control them. So I was like, I can see that as actually a good, interesting story. And I can honestly see like the way elitists are these days, and these fucking corporate heads like Facebook and Google. I could see them saying and doing some dumb shit like this, uh, and maybe this is a shot at them because they do name those people. And those corporations and stuff like that. But like I said, I could actually see, like, if there was a real life version of the fucking umbrella corporation, Amazon, Google, Facebook, like I could see those motherfuckers being those assholes. But okay, so mind control is where they're going with it. Again, I don't think that's too much. I don't think that's too bad because, like I said, umbrella they will do some stupid shit like that. So, anyways, Evelyn. And then, Wesker's making a point of, hey, we gotta watch this shit, you know what I'm saying? And then, because, the T virus is still in it, so we gotta watch that. How the fuck they gonna watch 7 billion people on the planet? I have no idea, but okay. So, Evelyn, to debunk him, is like, okay, pulls out a bottle of joy. Obviously, she's probably taking it, and I wouldn't blame her because a fucking wife is annoying. And everybody in the company is so fucking incompetent. So I can understand her taking the joy. Why she's fucking smiling all the time. But she's like, okay, well, how many it takes? So I'm generally curious what she's going to say too. Dangerous, and if it's still that, you know, if people can turn into zombies, how many do you have to take? I'm generally interested in that. And he says 20,000. And I'm thinking to myself, so wait. It's not like you take like, if you said 100 baby pills, maybe, but you took them too close. Like say you took them like 4 at a time, like over a period of like, I don't know, a fucking month. That would make more sense to me. This motherfucker said 20,000. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, 20,000 what, over time? And if it's like 20,000 over time, so your body doesn't filter it, like it does, the T virus doesn't, your body doesn't hold the T virus for a certain amount of time and then release it. It doesn't work like sugar, shit like that. So it's just, when you ingest it, it just stays in you. And I'm thinking to myself, another thing I'm thinking too, I'm like, well, wait, most medications, they have effects and stuff, a lot of medications leave your fucking body at a certain point. Especially if you can filter it, like, you eating healthy and stuff like that. So I'm like, 20,000. 20 fucking thousand. So that's, if you start taking the pills maybe once a day, how many years would that take for you to turn into a zombie? And in fact, how would you even fucking measure that? Like, how did they? Hold on a second, y'all. The train's still going, but at least the horn blowing way down there, so we're good to go. Anyway, so I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like 20,000 pills, and I'm like, how did they test that? Did they just have a motherfucker stuck in a room and it was like, you know what, fucking eat pills until you turn to a zombie? How did they even come up with that number? I don't fuck. What is it? They just calculated it. They just said, okay, it's like 2% T virus in each pill or whatever, and you have to get to 100%. And T virus don't leave your body, so if you take this amount of pills, based on our calculations of 0.02% or whatever, then you turn to a zombie. Like how the fuck did they come up with 20,000? I still don't understand that number, but okay, fine. So, yes, and then the scene switches to Billy. Billy's at school, freaking the fuck out, seeing shit, hearing shit, and this bitch doesn't. I don't care what nobody says. This bitch, something is. You can tell that this girl is fucking sick. Why was she allowed in the fucking school? Why wasn't the nurse like, hey, why somebody say, hey, let's go contact the nurse? Because this bitch look like she just a fucking walking corpse at this point. So nobody knows, I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's still trying to play it off. Why? Why are you trying to play that off just like that? If there were the symptoms were a little bit lighter, I'd be like, okay, fine. but you seeing shit, you're hearing shit, you sitting here fucking just dazed and confused. Help, stupid. And then, well, I go to that part. So let's go back to the present slash future. The unthreatening guy is looking for Jade. He's talking to the guy that runs one of the guys that runs the channel. That guy's being a smart ass. And then next you know, the car that Jade was driving pulls up, and the a non-threatening guy is like, "Oh, okay, so she has been here." And I'm thinking to myself, you don't know what she was driving, so why would you think that was her car? I mean, yeah, you saw the car break out of the installation that you was fucking up, but it was in the middle of the night. Yeah, I think it was still nighttime. Yeah, I think it was still nighttime. Yeah, it was nighttime. I think. So it was the middle of the night. I think it was a bunch of zombies, a bunch of gunfire, adrenaline running. So you saw that car that she jumped on, got the make, model, the number, all of that shit in that one fucking shot, and you have not seen this truck or car since then, and you all of a sudden think that it belongs to her. Okay, okay, we'll go with that. You know, okay. Then the guy's like, "Shut the fuck up! Don't say anything." And then you find out the liquors out there, and then a question. Jade points them out as liquors, and my thing is, I don't think she saw any of them. So why would she assume they were liquors? I mean, I guess you could have heard it, but at the same time, you still didn't see it, so you don't know exactly what it is. And mustache on my damn mouth. And then another thing was, it was like, how did she know that was liquors? The guys that are in the tunnel and dealt with these things before have a better idea to call them the liquors because they dealt with those creatures before than Jade, which we don't know her experience with them. So if the guys say, "Hey, these creatures are the liquors," shut the fuck up. I would be like, okay, they've dealt with these creatures before. They came up with a name for them. Cool. So why the fuck did Jade? How did Jade come up with it? How does she know what these creatures are? She didn't know what the caterpillar thing was. Apparently, what is she? What's this? The Fantastic Beasts and where to fucking find them? And her nickname is Newt or Newt, whatever the fuck the guy's name was. Jesus. So okay, the liquors are there and everything. People not talking. They're freaking out, but they're not saying anything. You're like, okay, kind of stupid because they're driving these vehicles and that the vehicles make noise, and I think they did stop, but even still, they're creeping through there. The creatures will still technically hear the noise of them creeping, no matter how slow they are. All it takes is one rock to pop off a damn fucking wheel, and it'll make a noise. But okay, so next you know, the non-threatening guy and the umbrella soldiers come up in there with the sirens going, blazing, and I'm like, okay, so what's going to happen is the liquors will immediately charge the sirens because they can fucking hear them. And when the guy gets out and starts talking and the sirens aren't blaring, if you say the sirens are keeping the creatures away, okay, fine. They're too loud, fine. But when the people get out of the car, the sirens aren't going off like that. They're actually walking around talking and marching and all of that stuff, and you hear the clank of the armor. All of the liquors would immediately go attack them, right? No. What happened is when the shooting started, the liquors attack the soldiers. They do, and I would say this is probably one of the best scenes in this episode. Probably one of the best. No, this is fucking one of the best scenes of the season. But The lickers attack the soldiers. The soldiers start shooting. So it's like this firefight between the lickers and the soldiers. Cool. Could have been shot better, but I take it. I take it. I take it. So instead of all the lickers fucking attacking these soldiers, one of the lickers breaks in through the fucking window of this van when and attacks the driver. And I'm like, why did it do that? No, the dude didn't fucking say anything. The dude wasn't even moving. There was literally barely any. And yes, the people started talking, but how would the fucking lickers hear the people talking over the gunfire that's fucking 10, 15 feet away? So the people exit the vehicle, and again, the lickers are attacking the people who aren't making the same amount of noise as the soldiers that are shooting are. And the lickers are sitting there just picking people off. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So where's the fucking consistency? If you're going to go and attack, if they're going to say creatures go after things that make noises, why aren't they all going after creatures that are making noises, which are the fucking soldiers shooting and shouting and shit? So I was like, oh, that was just fucking dumb. And then on top of that, I'm thinking to myself too, if the soldiers are garnering the attention of these lickers and it's a firefight, why the fuck did they just not, the caravan just not fucking drive off? It seems like a pretty good distraction to me. But okay. So let's go back. So Jay, the family, and one of the smuggler guys ends up taking this side tunnel to because of the firefight and everything, which is fucking dumb. Because again, I'm thinking to myself, they're the soldiers are being distracted or whatever, are distracting the lickers. Why not just drive up the fucking tunnel, full speed it at this point? They didn't say what dangers they didn't, and one of the problems is they never told us what dangers were in the fucking tunnel. You hear that it is dangerous, but they never tell you, hey, at this intersection there's a bunch of lickers. You have to shut the fuck up for about I don't know, a quarter of a mile. And then after that, you got a bunch of zombies you have to deal with. And then after that, you got, you know, it would make more sense if you say that, if you tell people what they're getting into, but just not say anything is just fucking dumb. So, you know, those 5 end up taking the service tunnel, they wall it off, and they book it out of there. Everybody else, all the other fucking survivors, fucking dead. Even though they have no reason to be consistency wise. Lickers attacking them, they ain't even saying anything. They ain't making no noise, but the lickers attacking them. It's fucking dumb. But okay. Back in the past, Wesker is talking to Evelyn. He's whining about, you know, the research and effects of it and everything. Evelyn is being a total bitch. And this scene just makes her, you know, the character, what people envision elitists, wealthy elitists as, these people that don't give a fuck about human life and all it's about is money and power, and they feel like since they got money and everything that they can tell people. The actress, I don't like her character. But but when you get that, you think like Mark Zuckerberg, you think about this scene in the show. So they definitely hit the nail on the head with that one. But of course, and then one thing that kind of got me too, because Wesker's like, well, okay, well, we got to delay Joy because people turn to zombies. We need to get rid of that effect. He's okay with Joy being out there, just not the fact that they could potentially turn people into zombies. And he said something that caught my attention. He said, I don't have a team. You know, if he get a team or whatever, he can try to find a cure for the T virus while at the same time perfecting Joy. Because he appeals to her about the cure, which actually makes sense. Why would you put a virus, potential virus out there without the fucking cure? But okay. And I'm thinking to myself, so this man does not have a fucking team. That does not make any sense. How is work? This man can only do so much by himself. And if you say, hey, he's pulling the Heisenberg, where he knows how to make that grade A stuff, and you won't tell nobody because it makes you more valuable, I could understand that. But even still, it would make sense to actually have a team to develop. How does one guy make joy, but there's no team to help? You know, facilitate like the resources and stuff, studying when you're not there, working on this shit when you're stuck. Yeah, how to solve. He did this shit by himself. And Wesker is a smart motherfucker in the canon, but even he had help. So that didn't make any sense. Next, you know, Evelyn reaches inside the fucking thing with the mutant rat, and I'm like, oh, he gonna fuck her up. And then she just picks it up and she cuts off the CGI rat's head. And I'm like, is she infected with something or just plot armor? Which I'm thinking is plot armor. So anyway, Jade's in class, and I hate this. Another fucking train. Good God, there ain't been no. I'm telling you, there ain't been no trains running all day. So, I guess it was just. I guess it's just that. Oh Jesus, I thought I had it. It got me. I thought it passed. It got me. You know what? Screw it. Screw it. I'm not. I don't care. So anyway, Jay's in class and they're talking about viruses. Viruses. We ain't got no inkling of what subjects they are taking in school. And in the one class that they actually do show, they're talking about viruses. So anyways, what a coincidence. Anyway, Billy is in class. I'm not even sure if it's the same fucking classroom, to be honest. She's walking around just flipping the fucking out and everything. And they do this interesting POV shot of her running into the bathroom, puking in the sink, looking into the mirror, and she sees basically a zombie. Herself as a zombie, blood everywhere. She's fucked up. Cool. Except one thing where they messed up. That scene was good shot. It's a good shot. It was gross too, but it was a good shot. And then like after she sees the zombie after a second, I'm like, well damn, did she actually kill somebody? But this is what caught me. It shows her looking at the mirror. And then it shows her looking down for a second. I'm thinking to myself, if we're seeing through her eyes, why aren't we looking down? Why are we still seeing her in the mirror? If we're looking through her eyes and she looks down in the mirror, we're looking down too. I don't think I'm the only person that caught that one. At least I hope I am. How you go with something good and then fuck it up like that? Gosh. So anyway, let's go back to the future / present. Jade, smuggler, family, in the service tunnel. They're going, they're moving, they're doing their thing. Kid starts acting funny. Jade ends up finding out that the kid is infected. Kid was bit like 3 days before. Don't tell us how the kid was bit. And then on top of that, the kid's fucking bit out of the fucking blue. And this is day 3. So if the kid was going to show symptoms, he probably should have showed symptoms earlier when Jade rescued him and everything. All of a sudden, just the kid just fucking showing symptoms now. So the smuggler guy's like, fuck y'all, I'm out of here. Jade is trying to reason with the family to let the kid go. And the way she's talking to the family, it's one of those moments where you're like, well, the kid's infected. Well, your loved one is infected. And from the moment that they get bit, they don't love you no more. I'm like, no, bitch. They had 3 days to connect with their son. So I'm quite sure there's an emotional attachment to that outside of them just loving their kid. The fact that the kid reciprocated for 3 days. So the family really didn't think that was fucking wrong. I mean, they're also in denial too, but at the same time, now if you say, hey, after they die and they come back, stuff that makes more sense. But the way she just coming out with it is fucking dumb. And then it's bullshit because this bitch sister was infected. So what is she talking about? So anyways, smuggler starts running. He's like, get the fuck out of here, run, run. Big ass giant spider. And this is probably the second best, one of the few, another good scene. This is definitely the second best scene of the episode, but also one of the best scenes of the series so far. The spider fucking stabs him. And I have a problem with animals that are mutants and shit like that. I had a problem with the fucking caterpillar too. And this is one of the problems I have with Resident Evil. I don't like seeing mutant creatures and they don't act like animals. Like, okay, this spider stabs this guy. And I'm thinking to myself, why did the spider fucking stab him? Why the spider didn't grab him, bite him, web him up? That's what you expect a fucking spider to do. Not stab him. Like, that's just dumb. It seemed like with that sci-fi, that's some shit you see in a low budget sci-fi movie. A creature sitting here killing, but the way it kills, it kills, but it kills in like a very stupid way. You know, it's like you see like a monster just attacking people randomly, not eating them, not doing it just to defend its territory, just fucking doing it for no reason, and then it does it in like the weirdest ways and shit. Like, what was that one movie? Python, the snake stabbed the guy in the back with his tail. I'm like, no, that's fucking dumb. A snake wouldn't do that. So, anyways, spider kills him. The family, everybody runs. The spider's chasing them. They find his room. The dad gets a pipe, decides he want to go out like a soldier to make sure his family's okay. Jade kind of made me a little mad. I was like, bitch, you got a fucking handgun. Go with this dude. I understand this. And I will say, I do like the fact that she was genuinely scared. It wasn't her pulling the Alice from Resident Evil movie series and just going out there just being a total badass. I did like that. I like the fact that she was actually fucking scared and she was running. Even later on when she shoots the gun and realize, you know, she ain't doing like perfect shots to the creature and shit, you know. So I did like that. I will say that. And then the dad goes out. You think the spider gets to jump on him. The dad ends up hitting the damn thing. And instead of continuously whacking the thing and making sure the fucking thing is dead, he holds it. It looks like he's holding it down with the pipe. Because the pipe didn't look too heavy. It looked like that, you know. Not like a broomstick, but you could like, you know, like it got some weight, but you can still maneuver with it and move it and stuff. So it actually, the spider drops down behind the dude, hits it, knocks the spider down. Instead of fucking making sure that the spider is actually killed, what does he do? Hey, I got it. And the spider, and then everybody runs out. The spider fucking stabs him, rips him in half. In front of the wife and Jaden. And I was like, so why? And he does somewhat go for another hit, but the way that he did it was he hit it, and he left the pipe on it for a while, like he was holding it down. I was like, no, he could have just or stirred it, just hit, stir, hit, stir. Just stir the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that. So, and then of course Jay pops a couple shots off. It doesn't do shit. She takes off running, and I still don't. This part pissed me off. Jay sees a lever and she struggles to pull it. Now, how does she know that this was a door lever? I don't fucking know. How does she pulls it down? She's struggling. Okay, I give it that. At least she struggled with it. She struggles with it, and then of course the door slams down immediately on the spider, crushes the spider, kills the spider, and I'm like, so she risked trying to close the fucking door she didn't even know would work to kill the spider. Goods, you know what? Just keep talking. So, anyways, going back to the past, more CW drama. Simon talks to Jade. He's like, you know, hey, you know, Umbrella is update security and everything. What the fuck going on? Billy doesn't like how the way Simon is acting with Jade. Pushes Simon against the fucking wall. Like she got fucking super strength. And he's like a little bitch. He's Yeah, he's basically a bitch because he just and everything. Jay tries to address the situation. Billy knocks her down. Fucking super strength for some reason. Adrenaline, I guess. Or maybe it's that zombie virus from fucking Smallville. You know the one where Lois caught it and she had super strength. Watch Smallville. It's a much better show. So, anyways, Billy takes off running a fucking again. This girl just running and avoiding all this shit, just fucking annoying. So she runs off. Jade meets Evelyn. Evelyn's like, "Hey, what's up? I've seen pictures of you growing up," and it turns out Simon is Evelyn's mom. I mean, Evelyn is Simon's mom. And you know that kind of kicks my theory of Evelyn possibly being Jade and Billy's mom to the side. But you know, hey, it was worth a shot. I thought it was actually pretty sound, especially the way she said what she said. But okay, fine. So Simon is Evelyn's son. Um, you know, ain't no father. It's two moms. But anyway, so finally, Billy does the smart thing. That's probably the only thing she's ever fucking done smart in the entirety of her character history. She tells Jade what the fuck's going on. Tells her she's seeing things, tells her she's hearing things, tells her she's hallucinating, how she feels, what she sees, and the fact is she even shows that she's worried that she cut her hand and she cannot feel any pain. That scene, and I would give it to the actress. She sold me on that scene. Do not like her fucking character, not one bit, but she sold me on the damn scene. It was great. It was great. And then Jay kind of fills her in and say, "Hey, you know, this isn't the first time this happened." She talks about Tijuana, which I'm like, why the fuck you keep talking about Tijuana? Talk about fucking Raccoon City. And that's another thing that kind of got me because I'm like, this reporter keeps talking about fucking Tijuana, and the way he's making it seem like that's the first case, but I'm like, no, isn't Raccoon City the first case? Then why you keep talking about fucking Tijuana? Why are you even, if you're gonna go with Tijuana, say, hey, this shit was rumored to happen in Raccoon City, but I found evidence that it happened in Tijuana. That makes fucking more sense. So I'm like, okay, stupid, gosh, dumb. So we go back to the future. Jade is talking to the mom. The son basically is a zombie, but the mom don't want to leave the son alone. So Jade is like, fuck her. There is an interesting bit where Jade seems to be a bit rattled by this. That does seem like she's been affected by it. Because at first I'm watching, I'm like, what, did she fall and hit her head? Because she act like she's hurting. Oh, and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe the fact that the caterpillar slammed her body full force to a fucking car, and the fact that she jumped like fucking 40 feet off of a wall, 30 or 40 feet off a wall, and landed on whatever the hell that metal thing was. Maybe all that's finally catching up with her because she looked like she actually having some morning pains. But she goes out, and then you got this song, "I'm Only Human After All" song playing. I'm like, shut that shit up. It felt. I mean, it's a nice song, but it felt corny at the moment. Especially, I mean, it started playing a little bit when with Billy and Jay talking and everything, but it just felt corny for some reason to me. So anyway, Jade escapes out the service tunnel, not the main exit, the service exit. And non-threatening guy's there, which we end up finding out his name is Baxter. I mean, probably was before, but he's just been such an irrelevant fucking character. Didn't even know the jackass name. Baxter there with the soldiers. They're like, "Hey, gotcha," and I'm like, "It's the side entrance. How did they know where it leads to? How did they know that she wasn't going to go out the main exit by circling around or something like that?" And I'm like, how did they even get over there? They're still, they were fighting the liquors. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see them withdraw, nothing like that. That was a fucking stupid. So somehow they found the exit to the service entrance that they took. And then next you know, apparently, I'm guessing it's the Brotherhood. A bunch of people start showing up. Now, the part that kind of got me with this was okay. There's a couple soldiers, and they all got their firearms, and then a bunch of homeless people with guns show up, which I guess again the Brotherhood, and they're basically facing off. And then I get that there are more people than soldiers, but not. But it's like maybe it's two people to each one soldier. But I'm like, they're still soldiers. They wouldn't just drop their weapons. This would be probably a moment where it'd be kind of like a standoff, I would think. Maybe if it was like three soldiers to like the 10 people, but I want to say it was more like seven soldiers to like maybe 15, 14 people. And I was like, and the soldiers just dropped their weapons. I'm like, look, y'all would at least hold your. You would. You're at a disadvantage, but not. But you still at a. You still got weapons, so these people can just run out of cover and come at you with guns and say, "Put your guns down." And it's like a bunch of y'all. Why would y'all even put your guns down? You'd be like, "No, you shoot us, we can shoot you." But the non-threatening guy get popped in the shoulder, and he says, "Ouch!" That again, for some reason, they try to make this guy have humor. Try to make this guy. They try to make him incompetent, threatening, smart, but funny. And I'm like, this character is garbage character anyway, so it's not working. When he's being threatening, it doesn't fit because it shows him being stupid at points. So I don't understand. But even still, the Brotherhood show up, and I'm like, why the fuck are they be there? And if that's the fucking case, why didn't they jump the soldiers before Jade got out of there? Apparently, the soldiers had been there for a little bit, so it's fucking stupid. But you know, and I don't like to see this happen to people, but I feel it's apt. It's deserved. One of the Brotherhood guys uh, pops Jade in the face with the butt of a gun. I mean, it's obvious she doesn't work for fucking Umbrella, especially the way you see them cornering her. But you go over there and pop her in the face with the damn gun. And I felt, and part of me was like, she got knocked out with the caterpillar, but probably should have died. She she landed on that thing, which she probably should have broke her legs. She got that black guy killed. Uh, yeah, she deserves it. she killed the old lady's husband. She stole a guy's token. Yeah, she deserves it. And then she was a bitch to her dad this whole first season apparently. So yeah, she deserves it. So thoughts. This show is fucking stupid. It's killing me how bad it is. Look, I give it to the liquor scene. I liked it. It was a bit action. It was good seeing the liquors. They didn't look too bad. I know a lot of people get right on this show about the CGI stuff. The liquors didn't look too bad. I thought they were okay. I thought they were okay. I thought that was a pretty good scene. The giant spider scene, I think would have worked out a little bit better, but it's more cat and mouse, excuse me. If it was more cat and mouse, if it was more about them running and hiding and avoiding making noises. And another part that kind of got me about that was this fucking spider was there. Why the hell was there no webbing and shit around the place? Not all spiders like deal with webbing like that, but still, I would think there would be webbing and shit every fucking where. To say it's a spider. Now there was some webbing, but after the fact. But even that, I'm like, no, that place should have a little bit more webs here and there, just a little bit over the place. Like if it's them sneaking through there, avoiding trying to step in the webbing and stuff, and avoiding trying to get this thing's attention, that would have made for a much more interesting, much more tension-filled scene than them running and then hiding in the room, and then the dad going out there getting himself killed being a fucking idiot, and then Jay barely killing this thing by crushing it with a door that probably shouldn't have worked. But anyways, this one gets I don't want to say it gets 1 point, but still really bad writing. So it's like episode 1, episode 2. I'm just gonna give this a 2 out of 5. And now I think about it, I don't think I rated episode 2. It got a 2 out of 5. I should have gave it a 1, but it's got a 2 out of 5. So this episode gets a 2 out of fucking 5 too. Even though I did so again, they did good with the 2 action scenes, but then they fucked it up for how it was just done. And I did like that POV shot until that last part of it. But anyways, in the comment section below, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Episode 3 of Resident Evil Netflix TV series. Episode 3, The Lights. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Which scene did you like more? The spider scene or the liquor scene? Interesting thoughts on. I want to hear your thoughts about that. But be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on. And we'll definitely catch you guys later.